Denise Morgan, a 39-year-old Irish woman, has been found shot dead next to her boyfriend in the Queens section of New York City in the early hours of last Saturday in what police believe was a murder-suicide. Police were called to Denise Morgan's home in Glendale, Queens, New York City, after neighbors reported hearing shots fired. Denise Morgan and her boyfriend were both found inside of the second-floor apartment. They had both suffered gunshot wounds to the head. A gun was found lying next to the man, his name, Taveras. We're told that the couple were boyfriend-girlfriend. A witness heard arguing and then gunshots. Police believe this to be a murder-suicide. No other suspects are involved. Denise leaves behind her daughter, 9-year-old Molly. We're not told if Molly was in the family home at the time of the murder-suicide. Let's hope and pray that she wasn't. That's pretty much all the information we do have. Of course, full condolences to all those touched by the murder-suicide, and I do mean that in regards to both Denise Morgan's family. Again, she leaves behind 9-year-old daughter Molly, so let's hope and pray that she gets all of the support she'll need. But also, of course, full condolences to the family and friends of the shooter, the murderer, Taveras. Perhaps I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, Taveras. In his final moments, it's believed that he shot and killed Denise Morgan. He's a scumbag, and then he unlifed himself. I'm not going to say a prayer for him, but my thoughts do go out to his family and friends. They likely knew him as a decent person. That's my guess, could be wrong. But his family would not have expected this to have occurred. No one would have. I would presume, could be wrong. Perhaps there was signs of mental health issues. We don't know. We're not told of any mental health history. Within the article, a neighbor has said that the couple were lovely people, very nice people. They would always say hello. So I have some level of presumption, which again could be wrong, but my presumption is that they were normal people. Denise, a mother to 9-year-old Molly, an Irish woman living her life in New York with her partner. We're not told too much about the partner, the shooter, the murderer, Taveras. And my presumption is perhaps there's not too much to say. If we don't know about his criminal history or his mental health history, maybe it's because there's no significant factors there. Maybe he was a normal guy, in which case we've got to ask what would lead him to do this. We don't know. A moment of anger, lack of self-control, access to guns. Gun control is going to be a question for some. Correct me if I'm wrong. New York City, you have pretty tight gun laws, don't you? Maybe you don't. I'm not sure. We don't know if it was a legal gun or an illegal gun, but it just seems like an act of anger born out of a lack of self-control. And of course, it's a huge loss. I think there is reason to ask what would drive someone to do this. Part of the reason for asking that is the answer might help us avoid these situations moving forward. A generalistic answer might be, well, mental health issues. Perhaps we should have more mental health facilities. Perhaps better identification of people that are suffering from mental health. Perhaps reducing access to guns for people with mental health issues. I would think ultimately, or rather practically speaking, there's not a great deal that could be done. That would be my take on it. We live in a world where we have a certain amount of resources. It's all finite. We're not able to solve all the problems in the world, and this just is a fact of life. People get angry, they get rageful, they take their own lives, they take the lives of others. How are we going to stop that? Well, we can try to increase the access to mental health facilities. We can try to restrict gun control in certain situations, but I don't see anything stopping these issues entirely. I don't see that being a possibility at all at any stage. I guess I've gone on quite a bit of a ramble there, so I'll wrap things up at this point. Again, full condolences to all those touched by the deaths of both parties. The blessing here is that 9-year-old Molly hasn't been harmed. We're not told if she was in the home or not at the time of the shootings. Let's hope that she wasn't. She's lost her mother. Perhaps she considered Taveras as being a stepfather. We don't know. But I'm sure that she has loving family to look after her. Perhaps in New York, perhaps in Ireland. So best wishes to her. I'll wrap things up. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. If you're in a position to consider joining my memberships, please do. Perhaps you're able to drop a super thanks. But if you're not able to do any of those things, that's perfectly fine. So I'll thank you for your time and take care.